Hello.
KISSA Install Radio broadcasts for the curious.
Hello, everybody. This is Yoshi and Nakul. We are bringing to you the second edition of our show, Pressed Identities, on the KISSA In-Store Radio, brought to you by Antariksh Records, live from Veg Non-Veg, Gurgaon.
All right. This is the second edition of our show uh, called Pressed Identities, where we will take you through the collection that we have as selectors, be it digital or vinyl. And we'll be having a lot of conversations about the music, how it came to be, uh, what the cultural landscape was at the time, and also regarding the artists that actually brought the albums into existence. So, before we get into the crux of it all, don't forget to check out everything else that's been featured on the Kissa in-store radio. We just had the second showcase of Moss with her concept called Ki Ki Booba. We had Citizen Kale play right before us, and now you guys are tuned in into Oaaza's slot. And for the ones that are tuning in right about now, do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and do engage in the comments because it does help us grow this into bigger things. We will also have the great Donna Leak coming to the store on the 18th of June, so don't forget to check that out as well. Uh, a big shout out to Antariksh Daddy for letting us do this. And yeah, let's get on with it. So, the concept for today, we discussed a lot about Indian disco in our previous episode. This time, we're going to take it a little similar, but we're going to be talking a lot about Asian underground music that had come back in the late 90s. And we have chosen the selections that are particularly predominantly the percussive instrument, one of the most important percussive instruments that is native to
The
the
Indian
Indian subcontinent,
subcontinent.
which is tabla. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's talk about the first album.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the first album that we're going to be discussing today is called Facts and Fictions by a band called Asian Dub Foundation. And this was the debut album of the band. Also happened to be the blueprint for political bass music in Britain. It was released in 1995, and in essence, the album encompasses what it means to have a multicultural identity in Britain. And what's more interesting is that the album arrived before there was anything called the Asian Underground. There was no recognized movement as such. And this was even before drum and bass and such genres had become mainstream. Uh, One of the more interesting aspects of the album is that it wasn't born out of clubs, it was actually born out of anti racist activism, a lot of community organizing, a lot of education, and uh, many underground scenes claim to be political, but Asian Dub Foundation was political before it became a band, before it became a movement
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. They actually started off through a music technology workshop that was for the Asian youth
in London.
in London, and
Right.
that's how the band started, which is quite crazy.
And tracks, if you listen to the lyrics of the tracks, they talk a lot about how immigrants and South Asian communities were represented in British media and politics. The album constantly questions like who is it, who gets to define the facts, and hence the title of the album is Facts and Fictions, because it's referring to the gap between media narratives and the lived realities of the immigrants in Britain.
Yeah, that's actually got quite what makes it feel contemporary in 2026, because back when it was made, it predicted quite a lot of modern genre fluid music. They blending genres today is more the norm, but back then mixing dub bass sounds, mixing jungle tracks or sounds, drum and bass rhythms, hip hop, reggae, all of that combined, it was quite uncommon back in the day.
Also because there was a lot of Indian instrumentation on the album. There was a lot of punk energy
Correct.
coming from punk rock, and also a lot of politically relevant lyricism. So given that time, given that it was 1995, it almost felt like it was a completely new album.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get on with it. Let's make you listen to the first song from the album Facts and Fictions, which is Jericho.
For the consciousness of the nation, the sounds of the Asian dub foundation. Yes, yes. For the consciousness of the nation, the sounds of the Asian.
I cry now the music when it cuts across borders. Whenever my music to someone else's orders. Plenty of issues on the agenda. If you want to lend a helping hand, but you're always out to shut up and dance.
All right, that was Jericho from the album. And now, before we get to the next track, we have a snippet of an interview of Asian Dub Foundation that had happened back in 1997. And it's a short snippet of what dub means to them. And we thought it'll be cool to just...
Because they had a very interesting idea
sure.
of what the meaning of dub is. So, yeah.
Well, for us, dub is like a set of principles. It's just a kind of framework for experimenting. So we're not really trying to reproduce what has become the genre of dub. We're not trying to reproduce or copy the sounds of Lee Perry or King Tubby or anything like that, although that music inspires us and we respect that music, but we're just using whatever technology we've got available to us today just to make experimental music. You know, maybe what we have got in common with that history of dub is things like melodic bass lines or the usage of certain echoes and delays.
Heavy bass lines.
Yeah. But apart from that, we use we think it's a great framework into which to put all kinds of sounds, you know.
Right. So, for the Asian Dub Foundation, dub was essentially a philosophy and not just a genre. They used dub as a framework for experimentation, and it wasn't just limited to the Jamaican style, and that was not what they were trying to imitate.
Yeah, perhaps that's why it feels so fresh.
Right. And they weren't making reggae, but they were applying the principles of dub to a different kind of music. And those principles included the culture of remixing, the culture of recontextualizing sounds, and constantly, experimenting to, exceed expectations. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to the next track. The name of this track is Tu Meri, and one of the few ones out of the album that I immensely enjoyed. So let's go for it.
तू मेरी मैं तेरा
And it goes like standing together, side by side. I'm not a shadow, but I could be a guide. Stick with me in this time of insanity. Working together to survive this reality. Without you, I don't think I could ever believe in myself when you take me there. You see me as I'm what I wanna be. The hope for my soul, but yes, you are the key.
तू मेरी मैं तेरा
All right. So that was Tu Meri by the Asian Dub Foundation. And next up, we have a track called TH9, which has some very interesting punk rock type elements. So, yeah, let's listen to that.
The police are chase we, the beast can't catch me. When I see his big stick, him deal me a lick. So what I'm list 9, not 9, I've two got 3. Not even a 5 for the so what I'm list 9 man. Youth connection, stop this infection. Defending the community. So fascists and brick lane looking for a fight. Police doing nothing but look for black. Another 40 whites. ADF, we're about to strike, huh? Tony's getting shot, election in May. If the fascist man a gunshot, man, that's the only way. There are many different languages spoken in this land, but only one language that the fascists understand. Why don't you?
Kick the fuckers in the head. Kick the fuckers in the head.
Why don't you?
Kick the fuckers in the head. Kick the fuckers in the head.
I grab the mic, my job is to entertain you. Dance with me, you're laughing all the way through. For the deeds, I come follow we, follow we. I'm the MC, professional, that's what I am. To all you amateurs, I don't give a damn. Never come here with the cynical, music, difficult when I give the violence, man, of the physical mental. The physical mental. I look at can't this place, my inside, me crying out through the element. Through the element, funny that shit. My nationality, responsibility, it's my property. Hip to this, come skip to this, grip to this, move to this. So you never can miss the list of the idea of yes, this is my program. No intention, we're gonna shake it and making it with the fashion. If my flavor, I didn't try to swing. Give you anything, give it to you, lick. Scoop in the sing, that for walk, the fight me dumpling now. We are boy, I can't be idiot. Damn right, man. So what? I'm list 9.
So, yeah, that was TH9. And people usually talk about the electronic side of the Asian Dub Foundation. But what was very interesting on this track was Steve Savell's guitar work, which was very punk rock.
For sure.
And you can hear in the lyricism that it is extremely politically charged, which also links the Asian Dub Foundation to bands like Rage Against the Machine. And yeah, you can almost hear a city where you're hearing communities, you're hearing and listening to a sound system culture. Maybe
Yeah,
a
there's like
Jamaican sound
everything. We've got punk, we've got jungle, we've got drum
Yeah.
and bass, even breakbeat, a bit of
And
reggae,
immigrant politics.
and immigrant politics. It's all of it combined. That's
Right.
how the city sounds, perhaps.
And the most interesting aspect of the album, of course, is that it doesn't sound like a album that sampled the world,
Right.
because the world was essentially already living in London by this
Yeah.
time. So, yeah,
True.
that was that, and
Yeah, that was the first album.
that was the first
That
album.
was the first album, Facts and Fictions. Now we'll go on to the next one. If we would say that Facts and Fictions as an album was perhaps the manifesto, we could perhaps call the next one, Anoka,
Yeah.
Sounds of the Asian Underground, as actually an album that perhaps gave the name to the movement and to the sound in itself.
Right.
Uh,
The term Asian underground was perhaps popularized
By this
by this album,
album.
and it might actually be the most interesting album
Yeah.
you've never heard.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Interestingly, it started as a club night.
Yeah.
By Talvin Singh,
Uh,
called Anokha Nights.
called Anokha Nights.
In
Even
London.
before it existed as a compilation, Anokha Nights existed as like a gathering. So we'd have Talvin Singh, we'll have Sweetie Kapoor, and curating the entire experiences. And you'd see a lot of drum and bass heads, you'd see a
Jazz.
lot of jazz musicians, you might see a lot of other South Asian musicians along with this as well. Experimental stuff. So perhaps this was not born, this compilation, this album was not born through any record label as such.
Yeah, but from the dance floor.
But from the actual dance floors, and how State of Bengal, who we'd come to next, calls it ghetto.
Correct.
So yeah, quite fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. And traditionally in the 90s, when anybody referred to Asian music, you were either referring to Bhangra or to Bollywood, and this was so fresh.
The traditional
compared to-
classical music along with it as well
Correct.
that came out of India.
So-
But this was the one that actually made us made the artists themselves question, what if they incorporate jungle elements in it? What if they incorporate
and
breakbeat
bass.
elements, drum and bass elements,
Right.
electronica, a bit of ambient stuff along with it as
Correct.
well. What a compilation this
Right.
is. But yeah, quite really fascinating.
Right. So
Let's get on with the first
Done.
one. So the name of the first track is called Jaan. This is by Talvin Singh featuring Amar.
ओ मेरे जान जा
Right. So that was Jan by Talvin Singh. And one of the most interesting aspects about this compilation was that it had some incredible artists who were defining the Asian underground, which included, of course, Talvin Singh, but also State of Bengal. But a name that is extremely fascinating on this record is A.R. Rahman. And he's sitting alongside jungle and drum and bass producers on this album.
So weird.
Which is
So cool.
which is crazy. And yeah, in essence, this compilation isn't just about Talvin Singh, but about London as a whole, about
Yeah.
immigrant communities there. And you can hear Indian classical traditions, you can hear dub culture, you can hear jungle, drum and bass, and some South Asian, Bangladeshi influences as well.
For sure.
So yeah, that brings us to the,
The next track?
Yeah.
Right. The next track is called Flight IC 408. It's produced and made by State of Bengal. And State of Bengal is actually by a guy called Sam Zaman. He had founded it back in 1987. So he was actually born in Karachi. And his family migrated to the UK and then eventually settling in East London. Yeah, so it was after that he had a trip to a village in Bangladesh. And post that was when he met a lot of traditional musicians and dancers, and then eventually stumbled upon the concept and State of Bengal as an entity in itself.
Right. And started incorporating a lot of those Indian elements into
Correct.
the music that he was making in Britain.
Correct.
And initially the group consisted of a lot of rappers, DJs, musicians, dancers. One of the rappers was Deedar, who went on to join the Asian Dub Foundation. And Mustaq, also another artist of the group who became the lead singer of Fundamental.
Right.
So
And
that
you can, in fact, link State of Bengal back to the Anokha Nights that
Correct.
used to happen, that used to be curated by Talvin
Talvin
Singh
Singh.
and Sweetie Kapoor.
Right.
So we had African Bambata, a very
Yeah.
recognized artist.
A
and
childhood hero.
A childhood hero of Sam Zaman. And
Yeah.
through these Anokha Nights was how African Bambata stumbled upon Sam's music.
Right.
Really appreciated it. They eventually ended up having a B2B set back then
At one of the Anokha Nights.
Anokha Nights as well.
Right.
Crazy. And just not African Bambata, it was actually also Björk
Yeah.
who fell in love with Sam's music.
Yeah.
And Sam's debut album, which is visual audio, this song is also a part of that album.
Right.
And
It was released on Björk's label.
it was released on Björk's label. Correct.
Yeah. So
Crazy. Let's get on with it. Let's get to the next track. This is Flight IC 408 by State of Bengal.
Your attention please. Your attention please. Your attention please. Indian Airlines announces the departure of their flight IC 408 to Calcutta. Passengers are requested to proceed to the aircraft.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indian Airlines and Captain Das Gupta, we welcome you on board our flight IC 408. We are about to take off for Calcutta. Will you kindly fasten your seat belts, keep your seats upright, and refrain from smoking while the no smoking sign is switched on. We hope you enjoy your flight. Thank you. Flight IC 408.
All right, so that was flight IC408, symbolizing a journey and a flight between continents, between identities, and movement between musical traditions. Um Very revolutionary, having come out in the 1990s. And
Right.
with that, we can move on to the
The next one?
next album. Yeah.
So the next one is called Tal Matrix by Tabla Beat Science. And the most fascinating part about this is this entire album has been made by a group of superstars.
Yeah, it's a super group.
It's a super group in itself.
Yeah, the lineup is insane. So, first and foremost, you have Ustad Zakir Hussain, arguably the most influential tabla player of the modern era,
of
of
the
our
modern
generation
era.
at least.
Yeah, and of the previous generation too.
Yeah, you have Talvin Singh, who we just spoke about with his compilation called Anokha and his
Yeah.
Anokha Nights.
For sure.
We have Karsh Kale, among the first, earliest instances of blending Indian classical traditions with electronic music.
stuff. Right.
And you have Bill Laswell, underground producer known for dub, ambient, jazz, and a lot of experimental projects.
Exactly. In this great. Anyways.
So yeah.
We'll get to the first track of this album.
Right.
It is called
Palmistry.
Palmistry.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's get on with it.
So that was Palmistry by Tabla Beat Science, and extremely interesting that it treats the tabla like a futuristic instrument. Um, Whereas a lot of world music, especially recorded in the 90s, almost used the tabla or used Indian instruments for exotic decoration of sorts. But Tal Matrix does the opposite. Um Everything is built around the tabla. The tabla is the lead instrument. You have electronic production, bass, dub effects, break beats, all revolving around the tabla. And the album essentially asks a very interesting question, which is what if the most advanced rhythm machine wasn't a machine at all, but a master tabla player?
Absolutely, and just the title in itself is also so
Fascinating.
fascinating. I mean, according to Indian classical music, tal is essentially the definition of rhythmic cycles.
Right.
And the phrase tal matrix, it kind of suggests an infinite grid of
Possibilities.
rhythmic possibilities.
Yeah.
And for sure, the songs, the tracks on this definitely do that justice. We have a snippet of Karsh Kale talking about his experience of working with Ustad Zakir Hussain.
Yeah.
Right. Let's play that as well.
Even Zakir Bhai, for me, I never sat in front of him and learned Qaidas. And I sat next to him and he watched me and he saw who I am and what it is that I'm carrying with me. And he just gave me permission to be that. And, and guided me, of course, but in a way where, it was kind of like what he says in the track, a teacher never teaches, a student learns.
Right.
And you take what you see something that someone is dropped on the floor, pick it up. And I don't see myself right now as somebody who stand in a class and teach I mean, at some point I will, but right now, the teaching comes from sharing, I think, from it being available.
All right. By his own words, that was Karsh Kale talking about his experience working with Ustad Zakir Hussain. Now we'll get to the next track.
Big Brother.
Big Brother. All right, let's go.
Yeah, that was Big Brother by Tabla Beat Science. And one of my favorite aspects of the album is that it avoids an East meets West cliche.
For sure.
Because it definitely sounds like a genre in itself.
Yeah, it sounds like a third culture
It's
entirely.
like a third world.
Exactly.
So
Again, I mean, for all the ones that we've talked about, this is perhaps by far the best amalgamation of how all of these sounds that we've been discussing,
Correct.
drum and bass, jungle, and a bit of dub,
Right.
centering towards tabla and
Yeah.
fitting it within its ecosystem.
For sure, and you can hear that dub influence in Bill Laswell's production here. That sub bass, that reverb,
Right.
even the spatial mixing, the delay, very minimalist arrangements,
Right.
a lot of space, a lot of pockets in the tracks.
For sure.
So that makes it even more interesting and just a beautiful sonic experience. Um, the last thing that I wanted to say about this album before we close is that the dedication on this album is deeply personal and emotional. The album is dedicated to the memory of Allah Rakha, who
Yeah.
was probably one of the greatest tabla players in history, and also Zakir Hussein's father. And it creates a very interesting tension, which is on the one hand you can have music which is very experimental and futuristic, but yet it's rooted in a lineage that is stretching back generations.
For sure.
So yeah.
And with that, we bring our show to a conclusion. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in for this show. This has been the second episode of Pressed Identities by Oaaza. And again, a big shout out to Antariksh Records for letting us do this. And a huge thank you to Veg Non Veg as well for letting us do it at their store. This is Nakul and Yoshi signing out. See you next month. Peace.